Welcome to Northwynd 2, Episode 8. In this episode, I'm going to be doing something I probably should not try to do, and that is to solo Von 1 on R1. We'll see what happens. And I am level 8. I wanted to start by saying that, like when I did the R2 solo video last time, and, I've actually done a few R3s so far, I'm not trying to say, like if you were a newer player, and this series is designed for newer players. I'm not trying to say if you're a newer player that you should be trying to solo R2s and R3s or even R1s. I'm just trying to explore the limits, the potential, and to show that you can do this. That you can solo even R1s, even at base normal level for max Reaper XP, even on a second lifer. But as I said earlier in the series, if you're a newer player, especially if you're a brand new player and you're on your first life, I think that your time is best spent learning the game, learning the content, and once you get through a life or two and you get comfortable with Elite mode, then you can start stepping it up into Reaper mode. So let's take a look at things. We'll bring up the quests that I've done. So I did Zorian Cypher in a group last night, and let's see, I think I did a couple other quests with them. Maybe it was the only one actually. And this group was just plowing through it. They were doing it on R1 at base normal level, which is great. Most of the LFMs I've seen here are 2 over level, like they were elite stringy. People are posting R1s 2 over level, and they're losing 50% Reaper XP for that. And like I said, there's lots of Reaper XP to be gained during Heroics, so don't blow that off. It may not be as big as in Legendaries, but, over the course of multiple lives, getting that extra Reaper XP during Heroics will add up. But this group that I was in, they were very good players. There were 3 other guys, I think maybe like a Warlock and 2 Artificers, and it was an example of a group that had no business doing R1s. There is no reason, like they should have been doing probably R3 at least. Like they could have been going just as fast as they were on R3. I mean, these guys weren't even breaking a sweat. Barely taking any damage, just racing through. I mean, just a super fast R1 Zorian Cypher completion. And like I said, really no reason, in my opinion, not for that crew to at least do that on R3. Maybe it would have taken them literally a few more minutes. But there's extra Reaper XP to be had, and like I said, that does add up over time. So this goes back to what I've said so many times about Reaper mode, is don't get complacent. If you're smoking R1s, it's time to step it up. If you're smoking R2s, bring it up to R3, maybe even R4. When we get our crew going on my home server, and we're all playing, builds we're comfortable with, and we get into our groove, R5s, we're racing through those, and it almost feels like casual. So, like I said, don't get complacent. If you're nice and comfortable with R1s, it's time to step it up to R2, and so on. Alright, so I also did the level 8 parts of Sorrow Dusk. I did the first part on R1, and then the second part, I decided to step it up to R3. And that took all my resources, but got it done. I think maybe it took me close to 10 minutes to solo it on R3, but got her done. Did Stromvault's Mine on R1 and Stormcleave Outpost on R1. I don't normally do Stormcleave, but wanted to do something different. And that one took me some time, and that's one of the reasons I don't normally do Stormcleave on Reaper mode anymore, is because it is so long and I like to stick to the shorter quests. I also did the Path to Madness is the pre-quest to Zorian Cypher. In Need of Supplies, which is Western Threnal Part 1. That's a real short quest, and I like to do that on Reaper mode because it's just a real quick source of some cheap and easy Reaper XP, and I soloed that one on R3 as well. I figured why not give it a shot since it's so short. And not too bad on R3. Probably couldn't have done it on R4 though. I took a few hits, but maybe R4. I don't know. So that's where I am at on quests. We'll pull up the enhancements next. And so I've spent a couple more points over here to get some MRR. I think that's about the only thing that's different from last video. Oh, I did pick up the extra point of wisdom because that puts me at an even number. And like I said, I'll be spending points here in Nature's Protector to make sure that I have tier 3 and 8 to get the heavy armor proficiency by level 10. As for my Reaper points, I'm still sitting at 4, 6,000 to go till number 5. And I spent that fourth one getting some PRR. Is my con? Yeah, okay, so that point of con when I go into Reaper mode will take me up to an even number. As far as the wolf goes, just really sticking along the same lines. Let's see, I think I picked up Wolf Instincts 3 since last video and Thick Fur 2. I think that's about it there. His gear hasn't changed since last episode. And for spells, I got another level 4 slot, so I decided to pick up Cure Serious Wounds. So now I have a much more serious emergency heal if I need it. You know, I just had the Cure Light and Cure Moderate loaded up before, so now this is going to give me a bigger hit in an emergency situation. Got it maximized, got it empowered, got it in quicken, only using it for a big emergency heal, not using it for maintenance healing, sticking to wands and scrolls for that. And speaking of, I'm very happy to have access to the guild vendor now and get wands of cure critical wounds. You can get, the only place you can get those from a vendor in this game is from the guild vendors in House K. I was able to get into a small guild. They don't have all the bells and whistles, but they do have a decent amount of buffs, and I'm happy to have access to those, so I'm not panhandling on the streets for ship buffs, and again, access to the guild vendor to get these, so that's cool. That gives me a better source of maintenance healing. Let's see what else. I picked up Vigor, so you know, if I'm fighting a boss, I want to heal overtime spell on me because I'm going to be taking some hits. I throw a Vigor on me. I'm fully maximized, fully you know, all the metas are on it, but again, only in a tight situation that's not maintenance healing. That's, you apply all the metas and you start healing from your own spell point pool, you're going to be out of mana real quick. I've got Spider Skin back again. I used up my 100 stack of bark skin potions that I had purchased, so decided to load up Spider Skin again, and got Cat's Grace in there. Don't think there's anything else worth mentioning, or that needs mentioning. And on the feat side, there's nothing to add at level 8 other than, you know, I got the wolf, the winter wolf form instead, but I'm not really using wolf form for much right now. But I did load it up into my hotbar just for whatever reason. If I want to go into wolf form, I'm doing the winter wolf instead of the regular wolf. Okay, gear. Not much has changed here, so still using the Vibrant Purple Ironstone for big spell points, Evocation Focus 2 here. Sheltering 9, Spell Sight 4 on the hat. I really, you know, I saw a higher Sheltering hat. I should have picked it up. Wisdom 4 on the goggles. This might be new since the last episode. This I actually had left over from last life. It was one of the few pieces of Lobby gear that I decided to throw in the bank just in case someday I might revisit the tune, and here's that someday right now. I thought this was a pretty nice piece of armor to have Constitution 5 on a level 7 armor, so hell yeah, I'll take it. And I did get the Braces of Wind upgraded, so now I've got Magnetism 69, Lightning Lore 10, still got the Blurry, no other goodies on there yet, but higher spell power and crit chance. Con 4, False Life 13 on the ring, that is a new ring for this level. I do have a new pair of Striding boots, still striding 20%, but I found these really cheap on the auction house with the green slot. I mean, way underpriced. And since it had a better guard on it and the green slot, decided to purchase it, and I put a Sapphire of Resistance +3 in there that I found on the auction house. It was probably a little overpriced, but what else am I going to do with my plat? I paid 150,000 plat for that Sapphire, so. Devotion 46, resistance 2 on the gloves. These gloves were largely about the resistance. Now that's redundant with the boots, but I just couldn't find any other gloves that made sense to. So I got some devotion on there for when I throw those emergency heals up. It's still helpful, but we'll try to find something better if I can. This is a new ring. It's still ice lore and glaciation. It has higher glaciation, but actually 1% lower ice lore. It had like 13 higher glaciation, so I figured it's a good swap off overall. Dodge 3, Strength 3 on the belt. That's the same belt. Cloak of Flames is upgraded to the level 7 version now. Combustion 69, fire lore 10%. So higher spell stats there. On the shield, this is a new shield. And then I went with this one mainly because of the blue slot. I wanted to put the Sapphire of Heavy Fortification in there. I said before, get the highest fortification you can for whatever level you are, and you should have 75% at level 4 with the augment and 100% at level 8 with the augment. It's only 12 shards from there's a few different collectibles traders that you can get it from, like the Vampire Virusjanti and Behind House J, and I can't remember the others. You can always go on DDO Wiki, which is the best source of information, all things DDO. You ever have DDO questions, check the wiki. It has a great list of all available augments and which ones can be purchased and from where. So that's, the combustion 54 is redundant shield spikes. I'm not really shield bashing with this, so again, it was just really about having a blue slot so I could put the heavy fort in there. And now I'm using the spectral dagger. So like I said before, even on Gingerspyce on my home server, this is the weapon that I would be using at level 8. And I use this on Gingerspyce until level 12 when I get my green seal. So I don't know how long I'll be using it here, probably a lot longer. But this is a pretty cool dagger that comes from Night Rebels, Ghostbane, Crushing 6, Evil Outsider Bane, Vorpal, and again, just love the fact that it's made of force. So will not take damage from oozes and rust monsters. Very cool. I also picked up the Sweet Cinnamon Cloud. This is from Night Rebels, and I decided to pick that up because, I noticed that my dodge wasn't capped out. I have 6% to dodge, and dodge chance max is 8%. And so I don't have the Reaper points to compensate for that by picking up Reaper's evasion here. So I decided to pick up the Cinnamon Cloud. I had leftover ingredients from when I farmed the other stuff, so I just picked it up. Didn't have to farm any more for it, so that was cool. But yeah, if I had more Reaper points, then I would just pick up some more dodge here, but I only got 4. I got to work with what I got, right? I think that's all I'm going to mention there, and let's get to the quest. I'm skeptical about whether or not I'm going to be able to pull this off. I think there's going to be some tough fights, especially the arena fight at the end, obviously. But even before that, I think there's going to be some tough fights. So I'm going to try. This series is in part an experiment. I'm going to hit Mirage with Spring's Resurgence, and I picked up a Wand of Bear's Endurance. Going to hit him with a Wand of Bull Strength and Cat Grace. Yeah, this takes a little extra time, but you know what? I've got time. Experimenting, see how the wolf still being helpful. In the level 8 quest that I ran, he died once, but that's it. It's not bad at all. Had to heal him a bit, but been a big help. And the summons are still a help. Every time a mob goes after a summon instead of me, or a summon dies instead of, that's it taking damage instead of me. Go ahead and throw down all the CC. Sleet Storm, Ice Storm, and Entangle works pretty well. Stand back for the exploding barrels. Make sure your wolf's nowhere near it, because I almost killed my wolf in Strombolt's mine doing this. Let's do the same thing here. Whole kit and caboodle. We got a Mark of Chaos there, which reminds me, there's one more piece of gear that I just wanted to show, and that is that I got the level 8 version of the Petrifying Runestones. You don't need to have super high crafting levels to craft that. So I went ahead and did that. And that's these guys right here, and that's what I used to stone that champion caster. So it's got a DC of 29, which is not bad for, you know, a level 8 item. For level 8 DC 29, it's not stellar, but definitely worth using. And like I've been saying, you know, champ caster, hell yeah, stone them up. Doesn't really cost anything to make them. I mean, it's literally like 1 essence per runestone, and then a very small number of those you know, Sybaris dragon shards. 1,000 gold. Hell yeah, we can afford that. Big spenders. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out Illyria and top off right now, because I know that mana's gonna be tight, so might as well. So I have been using Illyria for this, but I want to emphasize that I'm not using her, I'm not keeping her out to heal me. And so, you know, I really feel that maybe if you're a new player, having a hireling is great, but I think that you should get used to not playing with a hireling. I think hirelings can turn into a crutch, and people can develop like dependencies on them. You know, don't rely on some stupid hireling who's gonna, you know, the UI is gonna like get wonky on you and not heal you reliably. You know, if you learn to play without a hireling, it's gonna make you a better player. Got 2 champions here, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw some CC up. Stone the one, stun the other. Piece of cake. Where I'm really worried is like these trolls down here on the hallway on the right. That's kind of a big fight. And then, you know, after the first couple waves in the end fight is likely to get pretty hairy. So I'm definitely going to be going down into the tunnels, because if I just stand out in the middle, I'm going to get walloped. That's what the kids say, isn't it? That's not even a word that I say. I don't know why I said it. We'll throw down some weeds. Drunken Ogre triple hits are scary. But look at how slow he is in the weeds. Now he must be out of them. He was moving at full speed. Take some time, heal the wolf up. Do a Fresh Springs Resurgence on him. I want to get all the breakables, because I do want to get Ransack in here. And there's a few breakables around the outside here. get my recorder going, OBS, whenever I'm live streaming or making videos, it slows my frame rate down. And my first goal, I just started live streaming on Twitch, and my first goal is, I've said the first $200 that I raise through the Twitch channel is going to go to a new graphics card, and I'm hoping to, with the idea of producing like a smoother videos and smoother live streams. When I run this game, when I'm not live streaming, when I'm making videos, it runs perfect. But like I said, as soon as I get that recorder going, frame rate drops. So I'd like to be able to, produce a smoother product for viewers to watch. Stoned, why the hell not? Doesn't cost us anything to do it. It does kind of have a long cooldown, so it's not the kind of thing you can spam, and it's, generally you want to save it for when it's important, because if you're just using it all willy-nelson, then, it's not gonna, it might be on timer when you really need it, So probably shouldn't have used it then, but those, I'm a little traumatized from those ogre triple hits, So I got 3 ogres coming at me or whatever, or 3 mobs coming at me. I want to make sure that I don't get thumped. The wolf is taking a beating there, so I'm gonna throw him some heals. Had some champs in there, not too bad at all. The wolf was in the thick of it too. That was pretty cool. I thought that fight might be problematic. Maybe it's just because I'm used to doing it a little bit higher skulls when I'm on my main tunes on Sarlona. Let's not get overconfident for the end fight. I'm still worried. As well as that fight just went, I'm still worried. Maybe concerned is a better word. Don't get cocky, kid. Stunned him with the Salt Ray. He got knocked down with... I've got 2 knockdown effects going as a guard, which is really cool. I mean, it's between both of them. Actually, I don't. It's just the one. Because it's the Bracers of Wind that later get the air guard going. So, but this version doesn't have that yet. It's a higher level version. So right now, whenever they get knocked down, it's from this Autumn Winds. A 10% chance to knock down any enemy who strikes you in melee. Pretty cool. Works well for my playstyle. I heard my summon go bye-bye just there, so I'm going to pull out another one. And yeah, we're going to take a minute to throw some wands on them. Hey, you know what? It's not costing me anything to throw these wands on them. Makes them a little tougher. And that's ultimately going to work in my advantage. Another point that, I don't know if I said this in this series so far, but my build is a niche build, and it's not a build that I'm putting out there saying, oh, this is the build that you should play if you want to do Reaper or whatever, or this is a power build. It's not, it's if you like playing Druids, if you, like playing a more balanced kind of a tune, or a party support tune, or a tune that can perform a variety of roles, even though it may not be the very best at any of those, That's one of the things I liked about Druids and Pen and Paper. I mean, I just loved Druids when I played Pen and Paper Dungeons and Dragons, and couldn't wait for them to come out in DDO. You know, I started playing in 2009. Druids didn't come out until 2012 in DDO, so I couldn't wait, and was so excited when they finally were coming out. Stoned! And I like playing Druids. I like the theme of a Druid, and you know, I've built this tune to fit the way that I like to play the game. And it's just one of, you know, like I said, it's one of the things I liked about Druids and Pen and Paper is they could do a lot of different things. They could do healing, and they could do, you know, a little bit of melee. They could do a little bit of offensive spellcasting, defensive spell, you know, as summons. You know, there's lots of different things. You had the wolf. In Pen and Paper, you could change shape, so you were a great scout. You know, Druids are among the best scouts in Pen and Paper because you can just, you know, like turn into an eagle and fly around and, you know, hover over the enemy encampment and take notes of what's what, and you know, nobody suspects anything when they just see a bird flying overhead. Unless you got a jerky DM who's like, everybody has true seeing and they know it's you. Okay, let's do Illyri one more time, just to be safe. I probably could use my clickies. I've got 200 spell points in clickies, but let's just bring Illyri out. What the hell? Remember what I said? Great investment. I mean, this is 200 free mana every 5 minutes. She's a nice investment. Where's my Razor Cat? What happened there? Oh, well. We're going to do the whole thing here again. Little weeds, sleet storm, ice storm. We're going to make it happen. See how slow they move and all that stuff? And all that jazz? See how big I'm getting hit here? Well, imagine if they weren't slowed down. Woo! Yep. That's some big hits there, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna have to dance around a little bit. Holy crap. That was tight. Yeah. Will the end fight starts, huh? It's a good thing I brought Illyri out. I used all that mana. Could have used some more even. Go ahead and refresh the wands there. You know what? Yeah, I was thinking about maybe putting the wolf away, but I'll keep him out. A little concerned that the summons and the wolf might aggro some mobs that I don't want to aggro right away, but what the hell? It's the blue one, Ginger. You know what? I got a better idea. You want to see my better idea? Here it comes. Been saving these for a rainy day. It's about to rain, so think I'd rather have a greater air elemental out than a razor cat. Give him stone skin so he looks ridiculous. Sure, how about some bear's endurance? Bull strength will help him knock down mobs better. And cat's grace because we can. It's an all-out showdown. Fresh fighters from all 4 teams. That's my Grogan impression. The Stormreach team is tougher than it looks. The Stormreach team has spilled a sea of blood today. Okay, I'm gonna get my collectible before we're all dead. And... oh, shoot, they're spawning already. I thought I had time to get set up. So I want to come down here, and maybe I won't aggro everything right away. Ogres will stone him. No, we won't. He saved. But we'll stun him at least. Throw some weeds down. What a terrible upset. Okay. What now? I'm gonna have some methods coming from out here, so let's go down here. Give them what for? We'll throw up a sleet storm. Then we'll know what hit them. We'll do them both. We'll do sleet storm and ice storm. Oh god, we got champions. Stun that guy, stone the other. 3 champions. What'll happen? Is that 4 champions? It's 100 champions. Not fair, it's frickin' R1. Another ice storm. Burning through the mana. But you know what? Bet Illyri's off timer, so when I clear these guys, can I pick up the remnants? Bet I can pull Illyri out. And she's gonna slip and slide in the sleet storm, which is pretty irritating. Ah, here we go, there's a little safe spot. A little clear spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull Illyri out. Where is she? She's giving me mana, but I don't see her. Is she in the wall? That's weird. Where are you, Illyri? I'm invisible. Oh, there you are. No, that's Mirage. Oh, there she is now that I call her to me. So strange. Illyri is a great resource. That greater gem of ocean's winds, by the way, that I pulled out the elemental with, those come from Crystal Cove, and they're really cheap. So, you know, Crystal Cove comes out, stock up on those. You get yourself a few hundred stacks of them. I mean, that's the kind of thing in Lobby Heroics, we're using them all the time. You know, I don't have them here because, you know, not my home server, but I found a few cheap ones on the auction house, so picked them up, knowing that, you know, there could be situations like this where, you know, I'm gonna want a little extra oomph. This is the part where I'm worried. So I'm gonna go down here so that I don't aggro everything at once. Now, this is a trick people have used for a long time, but I never bothered with it. But in repro mode, I did kind of recently just start using it. you know, going down into the tunnels instead of fighting them out in the arena, you know, especially when I'm soloing. You know, I've gotten really burned trying to just do it all, you know, in Reaper mode and just getting overwhelmed there. Okay, so it looks like we got a party. Weeds, ice storm, sleet storm. We're making it happen. If you want to fight me, you're going to have to do it over here in the hurricane. Oh crap, that's a light bear. Stunned him with Salt Ray. Oh, I'm hurting too. Is that all? I thought there was gonna be more mobs than that. Yeah, don't think I'm gonna be going toe to toe with these guys. This is the part where I jump around like a jackass. I want to go for Dead Heart's sidekick first because he heals Dead Heart. Or do we make Mirage tank him? What would that happen? What would that look like? Oh, I need to eat my little candies. Let's go ahead and use the regular version of Call Lightning 2. So otherwise, you know, you gotta hit them quick because otherwise they sit there and they regenerate. And I'm dancing. It's okay. I've got my Harper pendant if I need. I guess I am going toe to toe with him. Oh, I thought he was dead. Shit. Now he's dead. And now Voodoo's getting the hell out of here because I don't have any mana to fight that mess. They can tangle with the earth with the air elemental. He's a nice distraction. I'm gonna come down here. I don't think I got ransacked. I'm gonna get my chest. I'm gonna get out of dodge. Hey, thanks for watching. That was pretty cool to do that. Oh no. Not thanks for watching yet. We're not out yet. Oh dear God. If I die now, does it count? What are you gonna do? My job. So I have no mana. I need to find a safe spot. Stat. I can get a little bit mana out of my Archivist necklace. And maybe I can use that to throw up a sleet storm to slow them down. Or maybe I just run out. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, but I got no resources left. So, yeah, I'm just gonna run out at the start. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you have any questions about my build, you can respond to my build post in the Druid forum, and that build post will be linked in every video description of this series.